but it's an ancillary outcome of them investing so heavily into things that destroy us as people.
The truth is, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Welcome to Bakersfield, California, a city with amazing people, culture, and community, but also some serious challenges. Hi, my name is Dylan, and today we're going to be talking about one of Bakersfield's biggest issues, substance abuse. Now, according to the California Department of Public Health, Bakersfield youth are dying from opioid overdoses at a rate nearly double the state average. Now, you might be wondering, why and how is this happening? Well, it's connected to bigger problems happening in our community. Kern County's unemployment rate is almost twice as high as the national average. On top of that, there are huge income gaps depending on what side of town you live on. These are called inequities, unfair differences in opportunities and resources that can impact entire communities. And when communities face stress, poverty, and a lack of support, people become more vulnerable to alcohol and other drug abuse. So what do we do from here? How can we solve these issues? And what is there to do? Well, if we want healthier communities, we first have to really understand the challenges people are facing. But before we get to that, let me briefly explain just who we are and what kind of work we're trying to do. TYM4Change stands for Transitional Youth Mobilizing for Change. We're a nonprofit organization that empowers youth to become agents of change in their community. Now here at TYM4Change, we do a lot of different stuff. We conduct research and garbology studies, we present at City Hall to create change, and we're going on our third year hosting monthly park cleanups since adopting Martin Luther King Jr. Park. We teach students how to become leaders, we host high-energy school rallies and assemblies. We stay busy. But what we're trying to do now is to highlight and spread awareness on what's happening in our local county. So let's do it. TYM4Change invited 5 guest speakers from various organizations to our office to have a panel centered around understanding youth substance abuse. Here's what they had to say.
I think it's about education and conversation, and not being afraid to ask questions and say, hey, somebody gave me this. What should I do? I'm afraid for you. I need to say something because I don't want you to die.
I believe the biggest misconception is that people think it won't happen to them because they don't do drugs or they don't take fentanyl. But the reality is it's being put in everything. I believe knowledge is power. If we know better, we make better choices. I do. I really believe that with a lot of research that if I knew what I know now, things would have been a different outcome for my son.
Carlos Marquez, he was our son. You guys can see his picture here on my shirt. March 3rd of 2025. He was found in an abandoned building downtown. He was using another substance that he purchased, methamphetamine. He was fentanyl poisoned. He didn't actually know. He thought he was doing meth. It ended up being fentanyl. And it only takes 2 milligrams to kill you, so it's like a grain of salt. 7 out of 10 pills are laced with fentanyl, so you never know what you're gonna get. I believe if fentanyl wasn't in our communities, our son would still be alive.
In the following section, our panelists discuss the pressures our youth are facing today.
We went for a walk, and a lot of times I'm pretty lucky that my grandson can talk to his tata and tell him stuff that he can't tell his mom and dad right now. He was telling me about the pressures of already trying to get into college and already taking tests and already peer pressure. There's so much pressure. So finding someone that you can talk to, even in school or something like that, where you don't feel judgment or you don't feel stuff like that, is really hard. Academics and social media and peer influence, I tell them, I said, do me a favor, give me 45 minutes that you're not on your phone when you're with your tata. Let's talk about whatever, and I promise you there'll be no judgment. I promise you I'm not gonna lecture you. I'm not gonna talk at you. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm very proud of every one of you who are sitting right here listening to what's going on, to all of us talk about stuff, because I can't imagine how hard it is when you guys go out there and all the stuff you have to do.
Being young is hard. I know sometimes our friends can make it seem like, a substance might just make life a little bit easier or just to escape from our problems. But the truth is, there's no chemical that's going to help with any problems. It's just going to make it worse. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
What does that mean? That means that outside investors are being allowed to invest in destroying our neighborhoods, right? Through monies that most people that do it are not from here. The guy that owns that weed shop, not from here. The guy that owns that liquor store, not from here. Definitely not from this community, right? They got the big money. They know where to make it. I'm not saying their intention is to destroy a neighborhood, but it's an ancillary outcome of them investing so heavily into things that destroy us as people. That's why we're over here, to study and to learn, not to pick up trash per se. That might be one thing, but it's more than that. It's about understanding that there are certain neighborhoods that are getting left behind.
Volunteers from other youth groups assisted TYM4Change with our garbology study that we conducted at Martin Luther King Jr. Park. Together, we had a conversation about the active presence of substance abuse and the impact it has on its surrounding communities.
Under this bench, some kid could find crack pipe, the residue. Keep it in mind, it only takes a grain size worth of fentanyl to kill you. But say he gets his hand on it, boom, look what I found, let's play swords. All of a sudden it absorbs into his skin, and maybe about 30 minutes later, he drops out. Just like that. Kid running through the park, needle on the foot, bow, bloodborne pathogen, hepatitis A, 7 years old. See, it's wild. Let's hear from some of you guys. What'd you guys see? What are you guys thinking? How you feeling?
We found a lot of tobacco and cigarette butts and a lot of broken glass also. And it was in an area that you could tell was being used by kids because they're also like the after school snacks and stuff. It makes me feel like people really need to stop trashing this park, especially with the glass just being spread out everywhere. That's extremely intentional.
We've seen a lot of glass, and we've seen a lot of cigarette wrappers, and we found one crack, the pipe thingy. I mean, at least it's fun, but still, why is it there? And then the fence of the school was melted down, and I feel like that's very unsafe, because I was like, what if a kid goes back there and then they interact with someone? That's very dangerous. Seeing this type of stuff, so that's how my parents were. They were very oh, we're not gonna go here because it's dangerous and it's known for this. But sometimes I think that we need to bring attention to it and actually go to those places, because you never know the impact that you guys can make. And just how your team is doing, you guys are bringing oh yeah, of course, I know, yeah. You guys are, and we're all just kind of bringing attention to this park. So I definitely think the work that we're all doing right now and what we're continuing to do can really have an impact on this park. And just how she said, systemically, it affects a lot of the consumers here.
TYM4Change continues its work in drug prevention by exposing youth firsthand to the damage drugs cause in underserved communities. Our program is designed to help students identify and overcome barriers to success while promoting healthy decision-making and preventative measures related to mental health struggles, risky behaviors, and substance use. With the alarming rise of inequities connected to escalating opioid overdoses, it's easy to feel discouraged and overwhelmed. However, the first step to heal and to overcome this sense of helplessness would be to find community.
You guys have even more responsibility on your shoulders with less resources and power as young people to navigate that. So it's how can you reach out to people you can trust and get, even if it's not the answer, just someone that cares to listen. You're not alone. There's really a lot here in this community. There's a lot of people who care. You guys are the brightest part of Kern County.
There's a lot of positive alternatives available in the community, and honestly, I'm looking at one right now. Take action, empower youth, transform communities. It's time for change.
We want to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched this video, shared it, and continues to support TYM4Change. Your attention is the first step towards real awareness, and if you want to see how we're empowering the next generation of leaders right here in Kern County, make sure to keep in touch with us at TYM4Change.org, as well as our Instagram at TYM4CKern.